Hi, I'm Claire from Rooted in Language. The three most common causes of reading and writing struggles are dyslexia, dysgraphia, and developmental language disorder. In general, dyslexia refers to difficulties associated with reading. Dysgraphia refers to difficulties associated with writing. And developmental language disorder refers to the many kinds of diagnoses that you may have heard for expressive or receptive language difficulties. Each of these difficulties may occur on its own, but they may also occur in combination, and in combination with other diagnoses such as ADHD. So let's talk about each of these reading and writing difficulties in detail. Dyslexia is a difficulty in developing a fast, fluent, automatic sound-to-letter connection that interferes with progress in reading. The primary hallmarks of dyslexia are difficulty in learning letter names and letter sounds, problems reading words, meaning slow decoding, weak blending, or weak sight word development, poor reading fluency, meaning a slow reading rate and difficulties with phrasing, problems with reading accuracy, meaning many mistakes, including guessing, skipping words, adding words, or changing suffixes, weak reading comprehension, poor spelling, and weak writing skills, meaning poor self-monitoring and a lack of attention to detail for editing. Dysgraphia is a difficulty in developing fast, fluent, and automatic sound-to-letter connections in writing and spelling, interfering with your ability to express yourself on paper or with a keyboard. Diagnosing dysgraphia is much more difficult because there are fewer studies and less research about it. To diagnose, we look for a cluster of symptoms. The primary hallmarks of dysgraphia are difficulty forming letters, persistent letter reversals, poor control of letter spacing, variable slant and alignment, a mix of capital and lowercase letters, difficulty managing letter height, and poor writing legibility. One of the things that contributes to legibility and formation issues is what researchers call a difficulty in reciprocity. This is our ability to quickly and easily change direction in writing. When we're writing, we flow from one letter stroke to another, or in the case of cursive, one letter to another. But some children can have difficulty making that smooth transition, like retracing the line or rounding out the letter. This leads to jagged, pointy, disconnected letters that become difficult to read. There are many other markers that, especially in combination, may indicate dysgraphia. For a more complete list, check out our download to help you understand dysgraphia and the other two common causes of reading and writing difficulty. A developmental language disorder is when a child or an adult has difficulty talking and/or understanding language. The primary hallmarks of a developmental language disorder are a history of delayed talking, possibly with complex articulation and speech difficulties, weak vocabulary, including difficulty learning words and retrieving known words from memory, poor listening comprehension, difficulty explaining ideas, which is often called difficulty with oral expression, weak grammar skills, weak phonological awareness, weak self-help skills, and difficulty following directions, which can be different from listening comprehension, as someone may understand a concept, but may not be able to track multiple complex steps of instruction. With all three of these common causes and others that lead to difficulties with reading and writing, it's important to understand that children are born with dyslexia, dysgraphia, or developmental language disorder, and they don't lose these features. These are neurological differences that are part of the brain, and these difficulties can persist across the lifetime. That doesn't mean that they don't make progress, though. In fact, a child with difficulties may make so much progress that as they grow, their peers and colleagues may not know that they have any kind of difficulty at all. But those struggles can persist in various ways throughout their life. This is especially true if we don't provide the kind of support they need throughout their learning years. So, how common are these difficulties? Conservative measures say that approximately 10% of children in school have dyslexia. When we combine dyslexia and dysgraphia, this number can rise to 15 or even 20%. Approximately 10% of the general population has a developmental language disorder. Approximately 5% of the general population has both dyslexia and a developmental language disorder. And in schools, around 70 to 80% of students who are receiving supported education services are doing so because they have specific identified deficits in reading. Because dysgraphia is so underdiagnosed, it is also highly likely that many of these children also have deficits in writing. At Rooted in Language, we're here to help you. We show you how to provide explicit and systematic instruction across all areas of language arts so that you can help your students, your learners, and your children build the skills they need. We emphasize phonological processing, handwriting, spelling, phonics, grammar, and morphology, which we call word study. We show you how to practice all of that in reading and writing along with oral language, so your students can have a strong foundation supporting their entire literacy system. And when we talk about using a Rooted in Language method, what we mean is that we are showing you the best instruction informed by the science of reading and by over 4 decades of experience in working directly with students who struggle with dyslexia, dysgraphia, and developmental language disorders. We provide that explicit and systematic instruction that we know helps students progress in manageable, meaningful steps, and we're always working to a level of success. We teach reading, writing, and spelling together so that students can build specific skills and grow into consolidated practice. We do this through consistent original writing, meaningful deep reading, and intentional copywork, dictation, and editing. As you understand more about how and why your student may be struggling in reading and writing, you also understand more about how best to help them. We are here to help you be the best teacher you can be for your students.